Hey, welcome back. I'm Eric Franklin with the Fort Hood Garrison Public Affairs.
And I'm Samantha Harms, also with the Fort Hood Garrison Public Affairs. And you're listening to the Great Big Podcast. So let's get straight into this week's interview.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Debbie Nash-King, the mayor of the city of Killeen, and I am indeed honored to be here with you. Thank you for choosing me during Women History Month.
Of course. I'm so glad that you were able to come on.
Fort Hood is our partner.
Yes.
But they're also our friend. And I would do anything to support women and also Fort Hood this month.
I love that. That's great.
So
what a way to bring it in.
It is. It is the best way. Real quick, so not everyone knows, what brought you to the great place?
Oh, wow. What brings anyone to the great place? It's the military. So I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Okay. Just right up the street. Not too far.
Up the street. About 8 hours, depending on traffic. I am a middle child. I have 4 sisters and I have 2 brothers. So I'm a middle child. So I was in a relationship that was not the best relationship where I was married. So I got a divorce, and it was me and my daughter, a single parent. And everyone knows in the military that raising a child by yourself can be challenging.
Yeah.
And I found that out because this was my way out of a rough situation. So I got into college, found out about the ROTC program.
Okay.
Went through the process, became a second lieutenant, and my first duty station was really school, Medical Service Corps, which is Fort Sam Houston. So I just think that Fort Hood, the big army, just say everybody needs to go to Fort Hood. Let's work it out and see if they really want to stay. So Fort Hood was my first duty station.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I know, and 6 months in, deployed. So even though this changed my lifestyle, I had to balance everything being a single parent. So I would tell anyone, if you're undecided about your career or if you're having challenges in your life, try the military because you get the leadership skills, you get the network, and you have a skill set that if you choose to get out 4 or 10 or 20 years later, retirement, you're prepared to go into the civilian field. So it was a life-changing event in my life where the military carried me through the process, and I would not be who I am today without joining the military. Wow. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful.
How long did you serve for?
I was in for 4 years.
Okay.
When I finished command, it was Elizabeth and I went to graduate school. And that's what I love about the military, because when I was in the military, they paid some of my tuition, something that I couldn't afford because I had student debt.
Right.
Because I came in the ROTC in my junior year.
Okay.
So I was behind the curve already. And I had collected that debt. So I was just trying to make my life better. And grad school seems to work for me because I was Medical Service Corps and my master's was in human resource.
Oh, wow.
So it worked out great for me when I went into the civilian field.
Okay.
So I would not change anything that I have done in the military. And I think it led to where I am today as being a part of the city council. Because you meet a lot of people here in the surrounding area, especially going in and out the transit population. And my daughter, when I got out the military, I got very, very involved with community service, volunteering. So I was a coach for her soccer, volleyball, basketball. So I really got to see Killeen as a whole.
Okay.
I knew what Fort Hood offered, but why would I want to stay here?
Yeah.
And then I realized that if something go down on the serious side, Fort Hood right next door.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about having that hedge of protection. So when I got involved in the community, I realized there were a lot of things that I would like to see for youth, for our senior citizens, affordable homes, which was at that time, they were building homes, but not up to the standards that I would want to live in.
Right.
And the military gave me the opportunity as a second lieutenant to own my first home.
Oh, wow.
So I understood the value of being a first-time home owner and what you want in a home because I could afford it. But what about the other residents within our city, the lower enlisted that live within Killeen, could they afford that type of lifestyle?
Yeah.
So that got me really thinking about maybe I'm the one to make some changes.
Yeah.
Because I had systems put in place for me while I was going through the transition from being on welfare to food stamps, becoming an officer in the Army. And the resources are there not to stay, but to give you a little push up to motivate you to move on to greater things. So that's probably why I got into politics.
I was gonna say, so you're obviously the mayor now. So
with challenges.
So you had previously mentioned city council as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about your transition through all of that?
Right. So one of the things that I would tell anyone that's interested in politics, join our boards and commissions. I was on Keep Killeen Beautiful, Rodeo, KVI, Killeen Volunteer Incorporated. So I joined a lot of committees that we have currently now, and I learned a lot about the city. Because once you volunteer within any city, you will get to meet a lot of people, and they do not mind sharing with you what they like and what they don't like. When I was got here, what's going on in Killeen now was not happening when I first decided to stay here.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to raise my daughter here because you know everyone. It was safe.
Yeah.
It was resources are all around you. So that was important to me as a single parent. But now the same resources are there, but our population has grown in the last 10 years, 30,000 people.
Yeah.
So we need more resources. So how do you serve them? So I got on the city council. I started going to city council meetings and really getting involved with the issues. But when you decide to become a public figure, it comes with a price. It takes up a lot of your time. It's a commitment because you can run and say, oh, I won. But then how do you service the people that voted you in?
Right. You did all that work. So now you gotta show up.
So put up and shut up if you're not. So that was a challenge for me because now I'm in a position of leadership. And we have in each district, I was District 2.
Okay.
You have over 50,000 people. So how do I be the voice for the people of 50,000? Because everyone have different needs and wants. And we only have one budget. So you really have to do a lot of compromising with council members and negotiating, really getting to know your staff and the capability of what we can and cannot do. And we realize now there is a shortage in our employees, so we know we need more. Then you compete against other cities, not only Harker Heights or Temple, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, because there's such a demand.
Yeah.
So you get into competitive pay. And our first responders, I cannot say this enough. Our fire department, police department are our gatekeeper. And anything else within that, we have to support too. But if we don't have that security around us, that interlocal agreement that we have with Fort Hood and other cities around us, if you need us, we got your back. Once you train them, you just don't want them to get up and walk out the door.
Right.
So you must invest with that, and that has proven itself with the awards that they have won together.
I was just gonna say, so we're deviating a little, but that's okay. We'll come back to the Women's History Month side of things. But for awards, the U.S. Army has given the Community Partnership Award. Fort Hood received 3 of them. 2 of which, or I guess 3 of which, are all involve the city of Killeen.
And that would be our fire department and our aviation department. And that's what I would tell anyone that's running for office, especially women, because there's not many of us. I was listening to someone speaking at our mayor's conference last year, women mayors and leadership. It's not that many, but you have to be willing to take your seat at the table,
right,
to build those relationships and those partnerships, because it can be very hard. Like, okay, everyone in the room is a male and I'm the only female, but I represent over 160,000 people.
Yeah,
speak up.
That's
I
right.
say, speak up. So when you get in these positions, you have to be willing to get past the fear of will they listen.
Right.
No, you have to speak up and make your voice heard in order to represent the people you serve.
What does resiliency mean to you? For the folks at Fort Hood Resiliency Campus, resiliency is helping folks help themselves. The campus offers a wide range of programs, each aimed at assisting Fort Hood units and individuals in need of morale and team-building opportunities. Through programs like the Applied Fitness Center, Military Life Counselors, the Army Wellness Center, Nutrition Clinic, and the Warrior Quest Adventure Program, the Resiliency Campus headquarters is located on the 5th floor of the Shoemaker Center on Darnall Loop. To find out more about what the Fort Hood Resiliency Campus can offer you, look them up on Facebook or give them a call at 254-285-5693.
Do you think your time in the military influenced you in any way or gave you any skills to be able to do that?
Of course, Sergeant Major say, quit crying, get it together. Of course that happens. When I first came into the military, I taking into consideration, I did not have any military background.
Right.
I came in my junior year. So going to basics, it gives you the basics of what your job description is, but I had to go to Fort Knox my junior year to catch up with the basics. Then you go to camp to Washington or wherever, you're going to get a 3 or 4, and then they say go play Army. So
I like that.
So once you get there, it was just different. It was a shock because I grew up in an all-black neighborhood, majority, the buses, the stores, we all went. So coming into the military with different ethnicities, it was mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
But I got to the point where I was overwhelmed. And my sergeant major, I was just in my office and I was sad. I was crying and he just walked in out the blue. And he said, what's wrong? I said, oh, I'm overwhelmed. He told me to quit crying. Suck it up. Man, we're getting ready to deploy. And you're going to be the one that have to write that letter back to the family members because you failed to do your job. Get tough. And I was like, okay, what tough mean? You know, like scream? Yeah. I said, no, be a leader. Let your NCOs do their job. Work with them closely and learn. You only been here less than 5 months. Learn. And then from that, I learned how to work with individuals that had different ideas than me. Especially younger soldiers are very intelligent. We just got to listen. And so I started building those relationships with my other counterparts, other lieutenants, XO, my commander. And that got me into the mindset as a leader. Sometimes all you have to do is take in the information, get the smartest people around you, and they will make you shine. So a lot of my leadership skills was developed in the military.
Yeah.
Because the first job I ever had was at Hardee's. Do you even know what Hardee's is? Seriously. And I was 16 then. So the military, I'm telling you, you may hear a lot of things about the military. And people have their opinion, whether you served or not. Anyone that make a decision to put their life down on the line for some people that are not grateful and thankful, they all need a pay raise, really big, because they may not come back home. That's the way I feel about our first responders. They suit up every day in the military too, and they go out to defend us. And we should be grateful and give them the best equipment, the best homes, anything to support their families while they are away. The resources are needed.
Yeah.
And I think we miss that when we think of a budget. How can you put a price on a life?
Yeah.
You cannot. So I'm really big on first responders in our military services.
Yeah. Well, our first responders are obviously doing amazing things since they won that award, especially for the fire that we had here on Fort Hood last year.
What
which is
fire?
Crazy to think that it's been a whole year.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about this. It's like, oh, yeah, March of 22. I'm like, it's March of 23 already.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't believe that was a year ago.
It's the end of March of 2020.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, ma'am, I want to get back to you being in Killeen and you seeing the growth of Killeen, not only Killeen but Fort Hood both of them have grown. You've been here a while. I'm from Killeen, so you remember when Killeen had the street lights went off in Killeen and they would flash just yellow. How have you seen the growth of the city, and how have you seen the growth population just grow?
Well, I've seen development throughout Killeen, especially on the Clear Creek, Fort Hood area, that street, because it's where the people are. When you grow, we grow.
Yeah.
And once you bring businesses into the area, which we do, people say, why do you have a Starbucks? Well, people like Starbucks.
Yeah.
Why are there 5 McDonald's here? Because people like McDonald's. Some things we can control, but we're really focused on our industrial park where we're bringing businesses in. And what is so significant about what have I seen change? The Fort Hood area have soldiers that's coming in and they're learning these different traits. And once you get out, the companies that's paying the $20, $40, $60 an hour, if you're looking for that type, we have those. But you have to have a skill set that they need.
Yeah.
So I see our area growing a lot, especially with our younger population. That's the group that we really need to focus on, because what activities do we have for them? We would not want anyone to have to drive to Temple and Austin, but what people fail to realize, the companies like Dave and Buster's, I'm a big Papa Dough fan, if you do not have the rooftops and there's not the income bracket, they're not coming here.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say what we want it. We're really struggling with a grocery store on the north side of town, which has really saddened my heart, because that is the area that we really need to push more services. That is why we're doing our revitalization of downtown Killeen. When I got here, Killeen was popping. Downtown.
Yeah.
Everybody was hanging out downtown. But when we started to develop and grow to the south, they lost interest in what was going downtown. So now that we have the Warrior Mounted Museum coming in, we don't want individuals driving everywhere else other than Killeen to have the resources like restaurants to shop. So that's why we're really investing in our downtown Killeen right now. But the unique thing, what people don't understand about this area, Killeen, the cost of living. We have a lot of people that work in Austin, Temple, and different areas, but they live here in Killeen. So the cost of living to live in Killeen is great, but it's still our responsibility as a council to provide the top-notch services to our residents. And I don't like to do fees or raising fees. I know we only have 3 streams of revenue, and that's our property tax, sales tax, and franchise taxes. But you have to be able to bring in what they want and communicate effectively on if your fees, like our maintenance fee, $10. But look at the roadway. You can ride and see the difference, and we continue to do more roadway in FY23, but it comes with a cost.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we are kind of starting to run from time, but we have to talk about Women's History Month.
Yes,
we have to.
That was what the whole idea was. However, it's something.
I know we're jumping around a lot here, but
that's what we do. But we always get back on topic.
That's right. We're bringing it back. So, okay, so you are the mayor of Killeen.
That is
you
correct.
are the second female
The
mayor.
first one, Maureen Jewett.
Yep.
She set the standards, and I'm just falling behind.
Falling in. We love it. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about what that's like?
Wow.
Following in those footsteps?
From being a district rep on the council compared to being the mayor, it's different. It's time consuming. It's working with staff. Communication department. I stay in that department a lot because they manage my calendar. Janelle Ford, who is our communication executive director, a lot of my proclamation speeches, anything you can think that's on paper or video, she ensures that when I go out and speak and that I'm prepared. And I love that department. I love all my departments. But my office so happened I wanted it in that department because they work the closest with me.
Right.
So I think the biggest challenge is managing time. I was talking to Janelle Ford, and she was saying, ma'am, your schedule is so busy. And I think the two things that people fail to look at in the community, when they say she's everywhere, she's a female and she's Black. And being the first African-American female mayor, that goes from any minority. So they look at from whatever ethnicity you look at. They want to call you to speak. I stay at the school speaking to youth about you can be anything you want to be. I talk to women in reference of my story coming off welfare and food stamps to where I am now, or just speaking in general. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But I tell you, when you run for any political office, especially mayor, you this is a full-time job. I quit my job when I want this position because there was no way I could balance both of them if you really want to serve the people. So you have to be all in. And since my office at City Hall, I do a lot of Zooms and just conference calls, and you travel, constantly selling the city. And that's what I'm about, partnership, building partnerships.
That's beautiful.
And with that being said, because I know we're running out of
Yeah,
time.
I was going to say with that, we've got some things I know that he's doing.
For the City of Killeen upcoming downtown events, we have our on 27th and 29th of April, our Celebrate Killeen Festival. And the 6th of May, we have the Central Texas Asian Pacific Festival. And 17th June, Juneteenth Parade. And we also want you to come out and run with us at the Purser Heritage Oak Hike and Bike and Trail Fallen Heroes 5K 2023, and stay connected to the City of Killeen by going to our website. For more information, KilleenTexas.gov rec, you can get the Easter Egg Hunt 2023, and that's on April the 6th, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And we also want you to stay in the know.
I know.
And staying in the know is go to KilleenTexas.gov/alert center. Go to KilleenTexas.gov/alert center. And also, you can also call us at 254-501-7700 because we are here to serve you. So stay connected to the City of Killeen. And please call me anytime, Mayor Debbie Nash-King.
I'm not going to say anything.
That was beautiful.
But I almost think that she's planned that out before.
Wow.
She's did that before.
That was amazing.
Have I? No.
That was amazing.
I am. You can't see it, but that was impressive.
Wow, that was so master class right there.
When you got her in your eye looking like time running out, she hadn't said anything. Oh, she don't play. Janelle don't play.
That was great.
Beautiful. I love that.
I think that's everything.
I
She
think
even got
that's
the
it.
contact information in there.
All right. Well, we have to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everything that you have done with the city and partnering with Fort Hood, of course.
Thank you. And the City of Killeen and the City Council, we are here to support Fort Hood, which is soon going to change to Fort Cavazos.
Yep.
And we still will be behind you and supporting you. And thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Let your voice be heard at BOSS.
What's BOSS?
BOSS stands for Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers and serves the single service member community, active, guard, and reserve, as well as single parents, geographical bachelors, all U.S. military service branches, and foreign service members assigned to the installation. The BOSS program is based on quality of life, community service, and recreation and leisure. As a member of BOSS, have a voice in how you live, how you spend your leisure time, and how you support the community around you. BOSS membership and the program's available leadership and project management roles also will enhance your promotion package. For more information about how you can become a BOSS member, visit our website at hood.armymwr.com.
You know, it's pretty cool when the mayor of the city comes and, you know, we have that cool of a connection with people that they can just come. We can call them up. It's like, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? And they're like, sure, why not?
I know. It's so fun. I love bringing in new people and learning new things.
Yes.
And talking about new things. Every year, we obviously talk a lot about the same topics with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Women's History Month comes up every year. Black History Month comes up every year. All those other, there's so many months. And on top of that, so many topics that we talk about quite a bit, including a future episode we have coming up in the next couple of weeks on financial readiness.
Yes.
And we have an episode coming up about SHARP and CYS and all those programs and policies that we have here. But every time we talk about that stuff, I feel like I'm learning something new because we tend to not talk to the same person. So we've had the previous Killeen mayor on the podcast. So I think it's fun getting to bring her on and talking with her and hearing about her background. I mean, what a background.
Yeah.
She is so inspirational.
And it was so cool that we had to cut it short. We actually had to cut it short because there was so much more that we could talk about that I think when we do have a chance to have her back on, we need to bring everything. And I think it will be a great riveting show.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so too. Yeah, as soon as we stopped recording, we were like, oh, we didn't talk about this or that. Or I was like, oh, dang.
We would have made the show 2 hours.
Oh, easily. We could have had a 2-hour show, and we're trying not to do that to you guys.
Yeah. And I liked her because she, at the end, when she read everything off, she was on it. I was like in one breath.
I know. That was very impressive.
Yes.
So I do every week. Fort Hood has a installation newcomers orientation. And so I usually go for public affairs to talk about the products, the podcast. So shout out to the people who may be listening from that day that I told you to listen. But watching her do all that, I was like, oh, dang, she needs to teach me what I need to do for this briefing. I could really use some new skills.
Yeah, she was on it. And she was just like, and don't forget, if you want to contact us. And she knew everything that she had to hit.
All
so
over it
was great.
It really was. Speaking of things to do, we're going to do our little news briefs here from the paper. So first and foremost, we've got the Easter egg hunt. I want to remind everybody, we talked about it last week. We'll bring it back up for this week. Better Opportunity for Single Soldiers is hosting a adult egg hunt and a single parent children egg hunt March 31st. The adults will be from 11 to 12:30 and the children will be from 1 to 4. There's door prizes and music and snacks, drinks, and of course an opportunity to take your photo with the Easter Bunny. Who doesn't love that? Cool. So to register, you'll just have to visit Boss headquarters or call 254-287-6116. So that is one of our most recent things coming up. A recent change, though, was Fort Hood Family Housing has partnered with pactforanimals.org to allow residents the ability to have their pets fostered and to foster pets for those in need. So in order to find details on the program or to learn what you can do to help out, you'll just visit www.forthoodfh.com/resident resources.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So who doesn't love knowing that, like, if you have to go on a deployment and you don't know what to do with your pets, you have this free service now. They'll take care of your pets for you.
Huh, that's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. I didn't know they had that here.
Yeah, it just started. So pretty exciting.
And also, don't forget to follow us on all social media.
Ooh, yes.
Because we post there constantly. So if you want to make sure you follow us or go to the press center and you can stay up to date with all the latest news goings on at the Great Place.
I was going to say the latest and greatest.
The latest
at
and
the
the
Great
greatest.
Place.
At the Fantastic Place.
Oh, yes, the Fantastic Place.
Yes. Inside story for another day.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I think that's about all we have for the show this afternoon. So, all right. I think that's about all we have for the show. Is there anything else that you have, Sam?
No, just that it was an honor to be back on the podcast and to do an interview.
A cool interview.
That's right.
I think you have a couple of more coming up too, don't you?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think so.
So be on the lookout. Sam's gonna be making her appearance
will.
when she has the time, because she has so much more that she has to do now, and I'm the biggest headache that she has to deal with.
Keeping everybody on their toes. You know.
She does. She keeps me on my toes.
We'll see when I'll be back.
All right, you guys have a great week, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Hood and Fort Hood Public Affairs production. The show's theme music is written and produced by Delicious All-Stars. All our music is obtained through Filter by Songtrader. Have a question or want to share some insights with us? Email us at forthoodpao@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at USAG Fort Hood. And as always, be sure to leave a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.